Hello and welcome to my newest Roblox Studio tutorial. Today I'll be teaching you how to make a shop. Now this first part is only for people who actually want to make their shop similar to a simulator shop. First, you make the detection area for the player for the shop to show up. For example, mine's going to be this massive cylinder. Once you have made the shape, you can make all the necessary detailed adjustments to it if you want. Now go down here in the properties, turn off Can Collide, and make sure the anchor is now on, because welds won't help you here. Next, now we can actually get scripting. Go to script service. Actually go to the detection part, add a script. Now you can do script.parent.touched. Now we can do connect function, and with another set of brackets, enter, after moving forward one bracket. Now make sure you do other part, the P representing a capital. Alright, now we can do local player equals to other part dot parent. If player dot find first child quotes humanoid with a capital is not equal to nil. Now I can do this with the squiggly line and the equal sign. It's not equal to nil, then you can just press enter here and it will automatically fill it in for you. Now what this basically does is that it detects like all the children of the player and it checks whether it's a humanoid or not. If it has not found an instance of humanoid, it returns nil. But if it did find a humanoid, it will return humanoid or whatever. Next, we can do local. Now we can do local server player equals to game.players dot get game.players get player from character. This is specific to game.players. Now you don't do quotation marks. Game.players get player from character player. Now this will basically search to pretty much all the players and checks if actually they have the name. Next, then now that we have confirmed that this is a player, we go to replicated storage at the remote event and do show shop, or you can do shop show. Now I can do game.replicated storage. Now this is replicated across all clients and servers. Game.replicated storage show shop. It's the only thing inside of it. Fire client. Now we can't just do this by itself. It'll draw an error. We need to do fire client server player. Now we actually can move on to the player side. Add the screen GUI inside the starter GUI. And now you can customize your shop however you want. For mine, I'm just going to add a simple text button that says buy. Let's just call it a book for now. Now that you've done the necessary accessory changes, now go up to the screen GUI and add a local script. Remove the print hello world as usual. Now you can do game the replicated storage dot show shop dot on client event. Now I can do dot connect function. Move to the next bracket over and press enter, and it will autofill an end of it here for you. Next up, you want to do script.parent.enabled equals to true. So for now, let's turn this enabled function to off. Now we can commence a play of our game. Make sure you have your output turned on. It's in the view tab at the very top of the screen. Now once you touch this, as you can see, the button shows up, but it's not disappearing. Now I'm not exactly sure how you can do this with just one remote event, but what I usually do is make 2 remote events for hide shop and show shop. Sure, it might take up a lot of memory, but I already use that many remote events anyways. Now we have another remote event. We go back over here. Now we can do script.parent.touch ended. Connect function. Other part. Now you can just copy all of this checking code from before and make sure to include the end along with it. Then end. Yeah. Now that you've done that, now that we've done the necessary checking code, you can do local server player equals get play from character player, and you can pretty much copy all of this. Now that you've got this all copied, instead of doing game.replicated.showShop, do game.replicated.storage.hideshop. Now just copy this. Now go over to the local script, copy this, paste this, and replace the show shop with hide shop, and replace the true with false. By book, and as you can see, it disappears. Now that we got our detection system working, how do we actually make it a shop? Now first we need to make the detection cylinder bigger, so it's a bit easier to get to. And now you can actually go over to server script service, make a script, and now you can do game, remove the print hello world, game.players.player added. This will run every time a player is added. Connect function. That's how key once. Next we can do function player. You will need this later. I can do local leader stats. It's important that you name this leader stats. Local leader stats equals instance dot new player instance dot new folder. Leader stats dot parent is of course equals to player. You can do leader stats dot name equals to leader stats. Now this is pretty much done. But how about the money? Of course, we don't just need a leaderboard. We need the actual money. Now we can do local money equals to instance.new int value. If you're working with decimal values for money, you can use the number value. I highly discourage it because it has floating point errors. Equals instance on new int value. Money dot value equals to 0. And of course, money dot parent equals to leader stats. This will become part of the leaderboard. And finally, we can do money dot name equals to money, because this just creates a variable inside of this function, not everywhere. So of course we have to clarify names. If we play the game, you have a money count. Now you can actually make the shop work. Heading over to the local script once again inside the screen GUI, the local text button equals to script dot parent dot frame dot text button. Now you can do text button dot mouse button one click, or you can do one mouse button one up. Dot connect function. We've done this numerous times before, you know the drill. Function player. Now, if you're giving away a tool, for example, what I'm doing, buying a book, you of course need to design it. You can get more information on this in my tutorial on how to make tools in Roblox. Probably go check that out. Now you could just make your tool. I just union the part of itself. Now that you've made the tool, of course you can weld it together as usual. Making sure none of the tool has handles. Making a tool. It's possible to select the workspace. Making a tool, stuffing everything inside the tool like usual. And of course following the generic welding process I used before. Now that you actually have your tool ready, move your tool over to server storage. Now rename it to how you want. For example, I'm making mine named book. Now you can actually get back to scripting. Inside the local script, inside of the mouse button one click, we can do local book equals to game dot yes. We actually need to make a remote event asking the server to buy the book for us. Now over in replicated storage, add another remote event, call it buy whatever you are selling, for example mine's book, buy book. And of course, as usual, we're just going to do game.replicated storage .buy book .fire server player. Now we're heading back over to the server script service, adding a new script, or you can just continue from your previous script. Remove the entire world. Now we can do game.replicated storage .buy book .on server event connect function. There we go. And of course, we need to do player. Next, we need to buy the book for the player, of course. So now we can do local book equals to game.server storage. And of course, only the server has access to this, so we have to use a remote event. Local book equals game.server storage, and we aren't actually using this. Game.server storage book clone. If you didn't do .clone, you could actually destroy your buying system. Now you can do book.parent equals to player.backpack. Let's try it out. Player sofa, button, and it hands us the book. I should really work on my book design. But we didn't add this money counter for nothing, right? Go to the part, add a script. Now we actually wait, hold on, don't do that yet. We need to go back to our local script and add an if statement before firing to the server. Now you can do if game.players local player. If you don't get local player as an option, you're probably not putting this in a local script. If game.players.local player dot leader stats. Now this won't come up as an option, but don't worry, you aren't doing anything wrong. Just make sure you spell it correctly. Game.players.local player.leader stats.money, or however you name yours. Please, it's case sensitive, so please do it correctly. Dot value. Quite a lot of people make this mistake of not adding the value, and they end up with, I'd say, errors. If game.players.local player.leader stats.money.value is less than the amount you're selling it for minus 1. Or you can just do the math yourself. Then, actually, yeah. Please wait. Is less than the actual number. If game.players.local player.leader stats.money.value is less than 10, that means they probably have 9. Now you don't have to have 10. You can place it any value you want. And then you will do this. But what if you want to let the player know that you don't have enough money? Now I'm still putting an N here. You can replace it with an else. And then press enter again. Now you can do text button dot text equals to not enough money. And of course we can wait a few seconds, such as 2. And then we can set it back to its default value. But in my case, we can just copy and paste. You can just copy and paste from here. And there you go, a fully working shop system made in Roblox Studio. You're walking over here, buying book, but it still works because I made an absolute big mistake with my code. Go back over to your local script and just change this value. Just change the less than sign to a greater than sign. And then just minus this by 1. Now this should actually work. And as you can see, it says you have not enough money. Now I'm pretty sure that in your game you probably already have a way to make money. But if you don't, you can just go into the command line. You can just go into the command line. Or actually, don't go into the command line. You can go from current player client to current server. Go over to your players, your username, leader stats, money. Change the value to whatever you want. And of course, their money value is now 1,000. And of course, they can buy the book now. But hold on, it's not taking away your money. Another fake flaw in my code. Go back to the script where you actually gave the player their book. And it's pretty simple. You can do player.leader Stats, reader stats, dot money, dot value, minus equals 10, or whatever your money sale was. And now, of course, you can set your money very high as usual. And then it takes away your money. So you will eventually have to stop doing this. But to be honest, I set mine to nearly 1,000,000, so okay, maybe not 1,000,000. So I'll probably be doing this for a while. Thank you for following my tutorial, and I really hope you enjoyed it. This was a pain to record.